what ways did you slow the game down as a pitcher or a ball player?
So when it comes to slowing down the game, there's many ways that players like to speed themselves up. We like to be in the moment. We live for the big moments, but in order to get to that big moment, we have to really embrace the small moments too. Um, One way that when it comes to my size, I'm not your typical 6'4" pitcher. I'm your 5'10" and a half pitcher. Um, I had to distinguish myself from the other pitchers. So when it came to that, I it came to my composure, my accuracy in pitching. But when I would get in my head a little bit, that was my biggest challenge, is getting in your own head. From being composed, you deal with a lot of factors outside on the mound. You deal with fans, you deal with the whole other team, you deal with your pitching coach, you deal with your head coach. Um, One thing that I learned from previous coaches was being where your feet are. We like to think about the future. We like to think about the past, what happened, the last pitch, the last batter, the last inning. But when it comes to being in the moment, there's really not much stress because we're living in that moment. And the moment becomes so much greater than we make it.
Mhm.
So one advice that I took from a pitching coach is if you can't look at a speck of dirt on the ground, looking at it when you're on the mound, that means you're speeding yourself up.
Mhm.
And we talk about breathing, and that's one way that we can really lock into that moment, is taking a deep breath.
Mhm.
And it's not a one like a half a second breath. It's more like a big deep breath. Your chest comes in. A lot of great coaches that I've played under, they've showed me that. But um, getting that deep breath, calming your breath, or calming your heart rate down, looking at that little piece of dirt, and then when you can see that little speck of dirt clearly, that was when I knew. I was like, okay,
You're good.
we're solid. We're
Yeah.
solid.
So
Yeah.
getting back to your point, you always were, the most confident on the mound. You always seem to have like a calm, cool, collected nature about you. You're confident. You felt like you had the situation handled, no matter what. Take me through a time when you didn't have a situation handled and you felt like the game was speeding up on you, whether it's high school, junior high, college. Just take me through a scenario you can think about in the past, where you had everything went out the door, you were nervous, you had that head, like your butterflies were rolling, like take me through a time like something like that happened to you on the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, being a pitcher, we face teams. Sometimes we're like, okay, this team's very good. Um,
Hmm.
it's when it comes to that point, the the heart rate goes up, everything goes up. And it's hard to get in that moment of calmness because we're so amped up about that game. Um, I've there was the time that I dealt with that adversity. It was definitely my regional game. I mean, pitching the spotlight. I mean, it's you get to start, spotlights on you, all the TV cameras. I mean, me and you, we played in front of cameras, but not to that caliber.
Not to that level, yeah. What team
Um,
was that against? What
so
regional?
we were playing North Dakota State in the Stanford Regional.
Okay.
So I got that start, and it was the game where you don't want to talk to anyone. You got your headphones in, you got trying to lock yourself in, and that was the mistake I did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't treat it like another game. If I would have went back and changed the way I did things that day, I would have definitely changed things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I would never. I don't regret it. I would learn from my mistakes. I made the moment bigger than it was, even though it was a big moment. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
we get told to treat it as another game, and it's really hard when you reach those games. But there's the one thing that I really tried to get to the point mentally, because again, it's not so much everyone else, it's your mental state.
Mhm.
Pitching is more mental than physical. And when it came down to that game, I tried to get to the point of positive talk, even though things were not going well.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's how can I get my team to win? And even though we took the loss, I'll wear that loss because it was my fault. Accepting that and going the next day and be like, okay, how am I gonna keep going?
Yeah.
Like, because it's easy to be like, okay, I'm done with this. But it was like, okay, but now it's like I know what that felt like.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to your high school self trying to get to, play college baseball or play professional baseball that would definitely separate you from the pack, from the rest of everybody else to get that opportunity to go play pro baseball?
Definitely.
Just
Even though I didn't get signed,
yeah.
I saw what my best friends did. Shout out to Cade Morris. Shout out to Josh Zamora. They're on the organizations. Cade Morris is a AAA for the Athletics. He was my roommate, like a brother to me. Um, I fed off the energy that they all gave off.
Hmm.
But with the advice that I would give to my younger self is definitely stay disciplined, get in the weight room, but get in the weight room the right way. I see a lot of high schoolers right now trying to be bodybuilders. Don't get me wrong, you're strong, but it's not baseball strong.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Huge, huge difference. But that's definitely one thing that I would say. Um, Another thing I would say is stay on top of your grades. It
Mhm.
opens a lot of opportunities. But
Definitely, yeah.
but being the best version of yourself, how can you be 1% better each day?
Hmm.
If it's from stretching, if it's from getting your homework done in time, if it's from showing up to practice early, if it's making your bed in the morning, winning each day. And that's one thing that's been instilled in me in the college level that I will always take with me for the rest of life, that I still use now. How do I win each day? It's always a competition against yourself, not against someone else, against yourself.
Yeah, and I think too, I think a lot of parents, that do have children that are in high school or junior high that are, trying to helicopter their kid, they don't really realize that baseball, if they're good enough, and they have the potential to go play, it helps as a player and as a kid to let your parent, just ease off the brakes.
My biggest support system who got me to where I wanted to be is definitely my family. Um, it's a no-brainer. From my little brother wearing it off the chin to my big brother wearing it off his shin.
Yeah.
So, for my parents going from work straight to driving me to Arizona to Las Vegas. I mean, you know it. We did it.
Mhm.
Going from Kentucky to Tennessee back to Kentucky. I mean, we did it all, but I wouldn't be the person I am without them. And I'm thankful for the experiences that I've gained through baseball.
Mhm.
The stuff that I've learned through baseball have will always be with me, and now it translates to my work. So that's the final message. So if any players listen to this, your
Oh, they'll
family,
be listening. They'll be listening.
yeah, your family is your biggest supporter for sure.
Yep.
They they're your backbone. And for the ones who think that when it comes to the egotistic mentality, you
You're gonna
can't go
get
through this
humbled
alone.
real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't go through this alone.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
it's not, it's not built for the weak.